Hello, ladies, mothers, sisters, daughters. I want to welcome you to another solo episode on the Into the Wild podcast. This one is near and dear to me. We're talking about raising babies and building empires and why you don't have to choose between one or the other. And this is all in summary of times in my life where I was shamed, made fun of for deciding to be an entrepreneur and running a business and pursuing my passion over being a stay-at-home mom. You see, we come to these points in our life where we want to choose to go a path that goes against somebody else's opinion or perspective of what it means to be a good mother or a good entrepreneur. And it can be annoying, it can be sad, it can be disgraceful. And I want to talk about this for you. So if you're somebody who is sitting on the fence to start a business because there's all of these stories she's telling herself, or if you're somebody who wants to grow her business but know that it's going to take away from the family time or take away from this ideology of what it means to be a good mother, then this episode is for you. These are my stories, my perspective, and I want to shed light on the meaning of entrepreneurship for female entrepreneurs. So let's start with the biggest lie. The first one is that you have to choose between both. That being a dedicated mother means sacrificing your ambitions, or that building a business means you're selfish and neglecting your kids. Both are garbage. Here's what I know after 13 years of doing both. The women telling you to choose are either scared of your potential or projecting their own limitations. The best mothers I know are also incredible business owners. And the most successful businesswomen I know are phenomenal moms. The truth is, you don't have to choose between raising babies and building empires, but you have to choose to do both differently than you would if you were just doing one. That's the thing right there, is that you can't show up home the same energy and the same sort of hustle that you need to grow your business when you're raising kids. It's a different thing. When we lived on the East Coast, we used to have the sign that was on our door, and I should actually bring it back, that went from the garage to the house, and it said, "Please be responsible for the energy that you bring into this room." And it's true, because whatever happened at work, whatever bullcrap stuff that happened at work is not the energy that you need to bring home. You need to preserve the positivity that is in that house. So let's jump in. Number one is, what does getting clear actually look like? So if you want to grow your business or start a business, even if it's just a side hobby, or you want to make a little cash on the side, you want to test your idea, or you want to go all in, is that you need to get clear on what this actually looks like. You need to get clear on the change in the dynamic of your family, of maybe the dreams that you once shared 5 years ago that are no longer what you want to do. You have to define your non-negotiables, family dinners, date nights, sharing your dreams and your visions. You need to create flexible standards and things that you're willing to adjust. An example would be like a perfect house versus a clean enough house. The perfect meals, the perfect healthy balanced meals for our kids versus some nights ordering in. Being available 24/7 versus boundaries that protect your energy. So you see, in my world, I understand the importance of networking and nurturing relationships, but I'm also an introvert. So asking me to go out for dinner with a bunch of other people 2 or 3 times a week is exhausting. And so I had to get clear with my husband. I'm pouring into everything at work. First of all, pouring into my kids in the morning, and then going to the studio and pouring everything into my team and recording these podcast episodes and selling tickets and filling up the membership. And so when I come home, I want to only pour into my kids. It is really tough to say, hey, yeah, I can do another dinner out with friends or go to another event. It's not the truth. There is importance in it and there's seasons in it, but I default to saying, no, these are my boundaries. I got clear on how I better operate. The other thing too is understanding your communication strategy. Most relationships, when there's 2 entrepreneurs, fail because of lack of communication. As soon as you start to feel these little bits of resentment, Like, like somebody did something, or you worked more, or you parented harder, or you dealt with all the midnight feedings and he or she didn't do it all. You have to start communicating from the moment you start feeling these ounces of resentment, because it's only going to get worse, because you're going to get to this part where you break down, you break out, you're screaming, you storm out, and he or she said, where the hell did that come from? And fair on them, because you never communicated anything. And we're often afraid to say how we feel because we don't want to feel like we're not trying hard enough, or we're a failure, or we're weak. But that is such BS. Communication strategy is important. Tell your family what you need before you're resentful. Tell your team when you're unavailable, and when you are available for them and when you're not. Tell yourself that changing priorities isn't failure. It's actually your evolution. You see, clear priorities create calm chaos, and unclear priorities create destructive chaos. So what do you want? I mean, it's going to be chaotic no matter what. If you decide to stay home and be with your kids and not pursue your passion, that's still chaotic. Or you can do both, or you can do versions of something. It's still going to be chaotic. The other thing you need to know about building empires is that systems will save your sanity. And it is actually the systems that create the freedom. A lot of us think it's the opposite way. We create these schedules, these systems, and all these things are kind of like fine-tuned behind us, and we feel like it's stifling, but it's not. It creates the freedom because it creates the automation, it creates the expectation, it sets the standards. If you want to be a CEO of your business and your life, you need systems that'll help you breathe. Calendar invites for everything. This is funny. We would actually have calendar invites for our drive to the restaurant. We'd have calendar inputs for, driving to the dentist appointment, or the time of the dentist appointment, all the little in-betweens. People used to call us crazy. People called us anal. Yet they were never able to achieve this level otherwise, because they weren't willing to actually time block and batch and create these systems. And not only that, how a calendar invite is set into our calendar has structure and meaning to it too. It's not about being superwoman. It's about building a support system that makes space for your genius and your kids and for the things that you're passionate about. You're not selfish. You're not selfish for outsourcing. You're not selfish for hiring help at home. You're not selfish for getting meal prep. That's one thing we do. I hate cooking. I hate it with a passion. Hate it. Do not enjoy it. Never did. I don't mind baking, and nor does my husband. So we came to the conclusion that it actually saves us time and money and helps with our macros and our diet if we hire a company to do meal prep. So for Dan and I, every lunch and dinner, 7 days a week, is delivered to our house or to the studio. It's not pretentious. It's not expensive, because the alternative is to go out for lunch, which takes time. You end up eating more, and who knows what else happens. So meal prep at the end of the day, it might be $3 or $4 more per meal if we were to do this at home, but it actually saves us that time. You think about how much you charge an hour, right? So let's say it's $200 an hour. Does it actually make sense for you to spend a Sunday afternoon meal prepping if it's something you hate doing? Now, if you love cooking and it's part of something that helps you calm your nervous system and it's like meditation for you, by all means, go crazy. But I hate it. The other thing that helps us with the systems too is teaching our kids at the youngest age possible to do stuff around the house, not necessarily a chore, but because it's their responsibility. And they do not get paid for this. The other things we use are apps. Like we have an app called Listonic, and it's a grocery shopping app that my house manager and I use. I don't know how much it costs. We'll say it's like $40 or $50 a year. It allows me to add stuff to her grocery list that she'll get notified that we need. So then when she does her grocery runs, which are Tuesdays and Fridays, very strategic, that we know what will be delivered. She always gets what we need. And if there's not the option, she gets the alternative. Now, systems in place, you're getting clear on your expectations, clear on what you want. Now you have to understand that maybe some things are happening, some things are shifting, you're making money, you're finally getting customers and clients, and things are exciting. You have to know that your identity will evolve, right? So you can't just be like, oh, I'm just a mother or I'm just this. Your identity will evolve. The woman I was before kids is not the woman I am now. And thank God for that. They gave me the best lesson. They taught me the best lesson about time management, about being able to work when I'm exhausted or overwhelmed. Motherhood does not have to dim your light. It changes your lens. There may be grief in letting go of your old idea of who you were, your old image, your old pace, but there's also deep magic in becoming this new version of you. I never identified as just a mother, but I did identify as an entrepreneur. And I have no disrespect for anybody who is absolutely overjoyed in the role of being a mother. And by the way, there's no such thing as just a mother. Mothers are like the most important role in our society, hands down. The other thing about having kids and running a business too is that your productivity will skyrocket if you allow it to, because everyone warns you about having less time because of kids and soccer and daycare pickup and school drop off. But nobody really tells you that you'll become ruthlessly efficient with the time you have if you choose this. When you have 2 hours while the baby naps, for example, you're not going to waste 30 minutes scrolling on Instagram because you have stuff to do. You know your passion. You're in alignment with the work that you're doing. Motherhood taught me to prioritize like a CEO. If it's not moving the needle, it's not happening, period. And this is even in relationships with other girlfriends. It's like I get asked to go for coffee dates or to jump on a quick call and all this stuff all the time. And if it's not for my own sanity or health, if it's not to help my kids or move the needle in my business, I'm sorry, but I just say no. This all bleeds into the fact that you'll feel guilty no matter what, and that's normal. So let's just put this out there, that guilt is normal. And you'll feel guilty for working when you're with your kids. You'll feel guilty for thinking about your kids when you're working. You'll feel guilty for wanting more than just motherhood. The guilt is real. It's normal. I feel it all the time. Even today, I feel it. Yesterday, I felt it. It doesn't mean you're doing anything wrong. Mom guilt isn't a sign that you're failing. It's a sign that you care deeply about your children and about your dreams and your business. So the guilt really comes from me. It came about when I would choose something with and for work over a milestone for my kid. Like, yes, I missed Noah's first steps. Yes, I missed these things. I can't get them back. And I'm going to feel guilty about, no, what I can do is look forward to these other moments that we can have together and share together. And recognizing that you're going to miss things no matter what. Like you could have gone to brush your teeth in the bathroom as a stay-at-home mom and still technically missed your kid's first steps. It's like diabolical how our society thinks that you're a good mother if you are there for your kids' first steps, or you're there to be the first one to drop them off at daycare and pick them up. Like, let's rewrite the rules of what makes a good mother. You also need to build your village and then let them in. Stop doing it all. You're not proving anything except that you're exhausted. I used to wear this hat, this like martyr of I'm a successful entrepreneur. We're a power couple and I'm a happy, great mother. No, you can't be perfect at everything if you're trying to pursue your dreams and raise a family and maintain a household. It just doesn't work. But when you have a support system at home, like we have a house manager and a work assistant like I do, the key is being able to delegate the work and not feel guilty about it. Community isn't just nice, it's necessary. And let me tell you, I have a couple of besties on speed dial that I can call up at any moment to discuss issues in my personal life or my professional life. And they either give me advice or they just listen. You need to get mentors. You need to join masterminds. You need to find those girlfriends, get the therapists, find the babysitters, normalize asking for help and investing in real support, because receiving help is not a weakness. It's actually a leadership skill. And believe me, having someone else help raise your kids, that's what a village is all about. And don't be ashamed about it. And lastly, the legacy, it starts at home. Your kids aren't watching what you say, they're watching what you do. They're watching how you live. They're watching how you interact with other people, how you're on stage, how you're selling, whatever it is that you're doing. They are paying attention. And there is no greater gift to your children than a mother who is lit up by her life. When you pursue your calling, you give them permission to do the same. You need to talk to your kids about what fires you up. You need to explain to them why you're doing what you do and maybe why you're not home all the time or maybe why you're going to miss a soccer game. But when they see that power and conviction, then they'll know that mama is following her dreams and that I can do that too. So you need to stop thinking that I'm either a good mom or a good businesswoman. And you need to start thinking I'm a good mom and a great entrepreneur. The language you use, that the stories you keep telling yourself when you're driving silently in a car, all that stuff matters. Because when the guilt hits, and it will, you have to flip it to gratitude. Instead of saying things like, I feel guilty for working, you need to say, I'm grateful that I get to show my children what it looks like to pursue your dreams. Your kids are watching, and they're watching you build something amazing. You will never be perfect mom or the perfect CEO, but you can be present in whatever you're doing. You see, presence beats perfection every single time. Your kids feel it, your partner feels it, your friends feel it, your community feels it. And yes, there will be days when it feels like you're failing at everything. Hello. When the baby won't sleep, or when the client is demanding that you haven't showered in 2 days. I don't know. There's stuff that happens and it's the craziest stuff. And on those days, let me tell you, I've got some crazy stories. But on those days when you think like you're failing and you probably smell like crap, you have to remember this. You're not trying to balance everything equally every day. You're trying to honor both roles over time. Some days, mom wins. Some days, business wins. And some days, you barely survive. And all of those days, they count. And here's what nobody tells you. Your kids benefit from seeing you pursue your dreams. You're not taking anything away from them by building a business. You're showing them what's possible. Let me repeat that for the people in the back of the room. You're not taking anything away from your kids by building a business. You're showing them what's possible. You're not just raising children, you're raising future entrepreneurs who believe they can have it all because they watched you do it. Remember, the women who came before us didn't have the opportunities we have, and the women who come after us will have even more because we are showing them it's possible. You're not just building a business and raising kids. You're rewriting the rules for women that come up behind you, for the women that are next, for the women who have a dream, a vision that they want to be a mother, but also pursue their passion. You're giving them permission to do that. And my final words on this is this. You don't have to choose between raising babies and building empires, but you do have to choose to stop letting other people's limitations become your own. And I'd love to hear from you. Please tell me your stories about how you're raising babies or your dreams of your business. Hit me up on Instagram, Renee_Warren. Until next time, ladies, peace out.